Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis. Here, we're back together again a week later to talk about the new cast that's been released for the Amazing Race Season 35. I have Jonathan, my favorite race day talker, too. How are you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited for the American version of The Amazing Race. As
Why did you have to make that a distinction?
I did, I did. If anyone watches the Canadian one, they'll know. But yeah, that's coming to an end anyway. So I'm like really excited to see Phil, and yeah,
I'm also very excited, and I know what you mean. From my perspective, the Canadian version, we just don't have enough money here to make it really dynamic, and it's just everything sponsored and seemingly kind of low budget. And I'm just like, ugh. So I'm excited to see. Did you hear like the new things that are going to be happening this season? So they're going back to the airport. No more charter plane.
yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, yeah, I'm very excited to have that like nostalgic feel of because it's been a few years now. So it's oh gosh, I just remember those not that long ago when we had interrupted seasons where the contestants would all get COVID and what you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
to have like a season where it feels like it's back to how it was. Yes.
Well, I heard though now that this season was filmed after their original season 35 because the network came back to them and said like, "Hey, we have 90-minute slots now for you." So they wanted to film with the intention of having these jam-packed episodes. So I'm actually really happy about that cuz to me that means that like they are going to be intentionally really good. It's not just going to be dragging out content, it's going to be adding more content, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, and I feel like with the Amazing Race, you it's always that, I feel like they have so much footage and it's all kind of gold, right? It's like how many
Yeah.
times have we been traveling with family or friends? And if you film that, you can pretty much put any of that on TV because always something's happening. So yeah.
100%. And like you're not just going to be like concentrating on the front few teams and the back few teams and the middle teams like who are they? So you'll have a little bit more time just to get to know everybody and everybody's story a little bit better. Um yeah, I'm excited. I heard that the Express Pass is going to be back.
Okay.
You don't remember which one it was? That
No,
was?
no, I do, but it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, I love. Here's the thing, and then speaking of the Canadian version as well, the Canadian version is doing a little too much, but I just feel like Amazing Race US gets it right with the amount of advantages or anything else that they have. So
So, well, the Express Pass, if I remember it correctly, it was a task that you still had to do that would allow you to bypass all the different tasks. No, that's the fast forward. Wait, which one? What's the Express Pass? Actually, I was
the-
thinking it was the one where Uchenna had to shave or Joyce or Uchenna. I can't remember who's
that
who.
was a fast forward. Yeah,
Is
it
it
was
fast forward? Oh, I'm thinking fast
fast
forward.
forward.
Express Pass is not that bad. Doesn't matter to me that much.
I, I'm here for it. Again, as long as we don't have too many advantages that kind of, make it a little murky the waters. But yeah,
You don't want to see the Desjardins. What's it even called?
it's not even about the sponsorship in Canada. From it's not great, but you have to because
What
there's
is it
no.
called though? The Desjardins
Oh,
assist.
this that needs to never come back and bury itself. I can't.
Stupid.
And especially when like everyone's using it at the same time, it just means that like structurally the game just isn't like what's the purpose? Like if like four people are using it all in the same task, even you're like, okay, then this wasn't done properly. I don't even like the concept of it, but just even if I did, it just means not it's done correctly. So yeah, I didn't love it.
We have some friends joining us here. Hello, Diva. Hello. Hi, Joseph. Joseph says, so exciting. Amazing Race is back to normal. It wasn't fun during the pandemic with the charter flight. Wasn't as a fan of the foot races. Yeah, me too. Like I love haggling and finding a good flight. Like me and Phil during the pandemic at some point, we played an online version of the Amazing Race where we literally had to find the better flights, and like depending on what flight you found, like would be when you got back into the race like the next day. And it was like I really like searching and trying to find a really good flight. So
I
I
was
love that's back.
spectating that, and
So again,
I was spectating that, and it was very fun to follow along with you guys.
so fun. I mean, I would really like to be on the American Amazing Race. I would. Hi, Sophie. Sophie's also here saying this is going to feel like old school Amazing Race, aka before the pandemic years. Absolutely. And like I was saying, I think that they're going to put in more content. They're putting in more locations. They usually only have about 11 racing teams, and now they're going to have 13. I think they're not going to have any non-elimination legs. So you might come in last and it might be keep on racing, but it's either your last keep on racing or you're going home. There's no non-elimination legs.
Okay, I didn't know that. I don't mind non-elimination, like a couple in there,
Mhm.
um, but um, but yeah, I definitely enjoy it, and I haven't heard. I haven't looked much into this, so I haven't heard how many locations they're going to or what types of places. But I'm definitely looking forward to, like everyone's saying, kind of it being back to kind of where they were before. Um, and yeah, and that's the other thing about the Canadian version of it is we don't they just they stay in Canada. Whereas previous to the pandemic, they were starting to go other places. Um,
Mhm.
and just like this last one, it's all Canada. And it's kind of the same. But
It's
yeah.
definitely the same.
So
So
this, I'm like, where are we going? I'm excited. Let's go to like
we're going to none of it, or we're going to
well, let's go like
Moose Jaw.
worlds with Amazing Race US. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm definitely very much excited for it just being a real amazing race. I think that the 90-minute episodes are going to work. I think it's going to work better on the Amazing Race than Survivor, personally, because like I feel like with Survivor, if they're not extending the to 39 days,
Yeah,
I don't know if they have the content that I care for Survivor,
yeah, I
because
agree.
the third day that they used to have before they shortened it to 26 was the day that everybody was able to go around and scramble and get and try to figure things out and get alliances together. But now they don't have that extra day, because like one day is the challenge, the next day is the other challenge and interviews and tribal. And so they just don't have enough time to be able to strategize, in my opinion. So I don't know if it's going to work as well. We'll see. But I think they need that extra day personally to give me the content that I'm looking for
I
Survivor.
want Survivor to go back to 39 days.
Me too. I never knew I wanted something so badly until like they just don't do it.
I just don't feel like people are like worn down enough. I mean, there's injuries and there's medevacs, sure, like, can all happen still, but it's like you just feel it when it's 39 days. And that there's something about the need or desperation to win after, with those additional 13 days or whatever. It's just it makes a difference.
Well, and like, not that I want people to starve, but I don't like them starving, like having no rice. Like, I don't like give them
Yeah.
friggin' rice,
Yeah.
but make them have to not eat anything but rice for an extra 2 weeks. Like, I like that better. Okay, so I'm gonna do Wheel of Names for us to see who's going to choose first, because I'm all about fairness. Because I don't know if we've done a draft together in a
My
while.
last draft was
I won.
No, my last draft in general in life was for Drag Race, and I wanted Jimbo, and I didn't get Jimbo because I didn't get first pick, and then
Oh, who were you doing this draft with? How dare you?
it was just a friendly draft, but it's like yeah, I wanted Jimbo, and then
I mean, I love Jimbo. Jimbo is such a star. Such a star. Joseph is agreeing here. Yeah, 3 days give each player a chance to scramble. Now that that's gone, producers loving 26 days in their mind. It speeds up gameplay. I think it just makes gameplay bad, and people take less chances. And like they just like I guess the producers really of Survivor just love like the unpredictability, but like I like unpredictability because people are gaming hard. be like, what? Oh my God, how'd you come up with that? Like,
Yeah,
not like, ooh, I have no time, so you're out. Like,
exactly. And it just like even if you get bored, the contestants, they have that extra day to just, some people just want to stir the pot, and I want to see that, I want someone to really come up with something. Yeah.
well, even with Sari on the Big Brother this season, she's said that Big Brother is more difficult than Survivor because there's so much time to reevaluate, to flip the vote, to maybe have another perspective, to decide to do something differently, and then to go back again, and then to go back. Like, there's just so much time, and I think that that's actually interesting. Like, so she said that Big Brother's harder, and so I love hearing that because like Survivor, people think like, oh, it's so cushy being in the Big Brother house, like you get to sleep and stuff like that. It's like, no, you got time,
Yeah.
and time is not your friend on Big Brother.
Speaking of mixing all platforms, Sari and Jared, how do you feel if they went on Amazing Race?
I don't think they would necessarily do that well. Personally, Jared hasn't been that great in challenges, and we know that Sari is not a comp piece. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think she's ever won any individual immunities in her 4 times on Survivor. She wasn't super amazing in any of the little competitions during the traders. Even on Snake in the Grass, not the greatest. So I think that they would probably argue, and I think that they would be very entertaining, but I don't see them getting to the top half. What about you?
I mean, maybe I don't know that I'd want to see Jared, but maybe the Suri would be able to talk herself into getting
Taking Izzy?
some no, oh, that would be interesting actually.
Her and Izzy would be hilarious because like Izzy's so
Yeah,
like all
yeah,
over the place, and but she's actually still kind of good, like
yeah. I would actually love to see that. That's the pairing. That's the pairing.
that is the pairing. Her new daughter. Okay, so let's see first who is going to go first. Now, what we're going to be doing here today is we're going to draft a team. There will be one team that's left over that will be to you guys, the audience. And we're going to also pull a tarot card each. Well, I'm going to pull a tarot card, and Jonathan's going to pull an animal card, I believe is what he said. And just
Oracle.
give a little reading for each of the players, and then we can assess how we think they're going to do. All right.
Yes.
So let's see who will be choosing their first teammate.
I need this. Chantele does like historically so much better than I do.
Oh my God. Okay. Maybe I'll decide to let you go first.
No. You won fair and square. There's actually about 4 teams that I want, so
Okay.
I'll get one of my top teams no matter what, for sure.
Okay. So I mean, I don't really have that much to go on for these teams. I kind of have an idea of who I think that I want. And I'll probably be convinced that maybe like you're like, oh my God, they'd be horrible. And I'd be like, oh, I didn't think of it that way, but
Yeah,
which
they're right. There isn't a lot to go on, so I went
right.
on basically like basic profile.
I don't think that we're going to be choosing the same way. So actually, hold on, let me just do it this way. Sorry. 1 second, friends. All right. Okay, so my first team that I am going to pick is a team of brothers. They're quite young, but when I was doing the mini bit of research on them, they were both in either the Navy or the Armed Forces. And so I feel as though they're going to have discipline. I know that they were a bit estranged, but we saw that how the twins that didn't even know each other were able to work really well together. And I think that maybe having a common goal here and both having that military discipline will allow them to be a real strong duo. So my first team pick is Liam and Jeremy. Any thoughts here, Jonathan?
Yeah, my thought is it's Jimbo all over again because that was my first pick.
Oh, really? Oh, You should have let me give it to
Well,
you.
you know what? I hope that they don't do as well as I thought they were going to, but my own personal sake. But I hope everyone does well. But yeah, I thought they looked very strong. They're listen. You're young. You have that. Um, it's Navy and Marine or
Veterans.
background, right? So you have that military training background, endurance. I was like, how, and being so young, I'm like, I think a lot of the race is both the mental endurance and physical endurance. And I think
Hmm.
you probably get both types of training in the military. So not that I would know, but so I thought that they make a prime team. Now, being young, how worldly are they? Do you know, is yet to be seen, but, I do think what they do bring to the table, just even initially off what we know of them, is a plus, so
Well, and I am not sure their background, but am I? Are they? Let me look. Um, yeah, me. So it seems like might be. Hmm, okay, what kind of name is Yerami? I'm just thinking about knowing other languages.
well, and they're from Texas, right?
Right, big from a bigger city, which is good.
San Marcos, Texas.
Um, I think it might be a Hebrew name. Okay, so that was my immediate guess was potentially Hebrew. So they might know another language, and that language might be helpful for some other languages as well. So hopefully they speak a second language. I think that's in general, it's positive for being able to understand things in other countries if you know more than one language. So I have high hopes for them. Mhm.
And as someone who speaks another language, like, it's even if you don't know that language, just knowing another one in your head, it really fundamentally helps you understand, other languages, and you can pick them up, even basics, so if
100%.
if they do, that is a plus, I don't know.
I agree. All right, so let's pull a card for Liam and Yeremi. Oh, ooh, okay, interesting. So for me, I pulled the judgment card, and it's in reverse. So whenever I see reverse cards, I think it's either blocked energy, or in this case, it could be a physical block, like a roadblock, or like unable to complete the task. But the judgment card is the second to last card in the path of the fool's journey. So right after it comes the world, and so this tells me that they get to the final three and maybe get second place. Like I feel like this is like I get to the end, but something gets in my way and prevents me from winning. It's major arcana, so that's life's major events, major changes, and it's near the end of the journey. So this to me bodes well to get to the end, but not the W, not the win.
Very nice.
What do you got?
Uh, okay, and these animal cards are new to me, folks, so your interpretation is just as good as mine. I just pulled where is it? Ooh, peacock, show your feathers.
Oh,
What do we know about peacocks? Flashy, they show off, but also can I was gonna say put out. That sounds terrible. But they like, you know what I mean? You're as pretty as you are, your feathers, and I mean you can I think they can
and
promise
stand out.
yeah. So I feel like they definitely have a lot of potential, and they will definitely back it up with their abilities. So I agree with you. I think they're going to do well. Just going with my gut, I would also say that they make final three.
Hmm.
We'll see.
I'm just trying to see because sometimes I look up in dream dictionaries for things. I'm just going to read what the dream dictionary says for peacock.
Ooh, love that.
To see a peacock in your dream represents spring birth, new growth, longevity, and love. It is a good omen, signaling prestige, success, and contentment in your relationship or career. Alternatively, the peacock signifies pride, confidence, and vanity. You may be showing off too much or overly arrogant with your success and achievements. A peacock may also suggest that many eyes are watching you. And I think that that's all pertinent to these two. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a girl team that might find, or one girl on the team that finds them cute. They're probably going to be quite successful, so maybe they will get a little bit cocky. I could totally see that. I
But
could totally go
I
ahead.
don't think their cockiness will be their downfall, though. You
No,
know,
no, no,
yeah,
no, no. Like
it might
just being
be a little,
proud of like,
yeah, it might be a little slip up here and there, but not. Yeah, I think it's like, for them particularly. I think for other people it could be, but for them particularly, I think it's a good thing.
yeah. So I think those are both really good cards for these two. All right, we're gonna do a snake draft, so you get to do 2 in a row now.
Oh, love this. Okay, all right. Do I want to switch things up? I don't really know. I'm gonna start with a engaged couple, who are more around my age, uh, Joe and Ian.
Where? Oh my God, Jonathan, that's my number 2 couple.
Good. I'm glad. I am glad.
Oh my God, I guess like we've been doing this together often because like we got the same tastes, but like Joe and Ian are my number 2 on my list here.
Listen, New York couple.
New York. I'm so sorry. Go on.
They're used to like the hustle and bustle. They're, what does it say? Joe's the head of business development for commercial real estate, and Ian's the senior director of new business. Listen, they're like top dogs. They know what they're doing. They clearly both work out. They're fit. They're a couple. They're engaged. I'm sure they're used to working well together. And yeah, I feel like they'll just get it done. You know.
100%. For all the same reasons, I had them in second place here. And so like I thought that you would go for them like one of those 2 teams first. I would thinking that maybe you would be supporting Joe and Ian, so that it makes sense that you would pick them as your first team here. Yeah, I love the fact that they're from New York. I love that they're around our age, so they have wisdom most likely, but then they're also very athletic, it seems. Um, yeah, I'm definitely, I think this is a really good pick, and I like their chances.
Yeah, I definitely feel okay. Let's pick cards. Let's see.
Let's see how Joe and Ian are going to place this
First,
season.
since they're my team.
Mhm.
Let's see what we have here. The Red Fox. Oh, like sly as a fox, like witty and,
Ooh.
getting things done and not afraid of being a little mischievous or devious if needed. Um, I like this for them. I'm also going to go on a limb and say top 3. And,
Are we just going to be like master pickers here? It's going to be real fun.
Red Fox.
Red Fox. Okay, I'm going to look up Fox first. I don't know if they'll have Red Fox, but we'll see if that's
This actually says on it, it says strategy above the Red Fox.
Oh, and I could see them being strategic. Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah.
Fox, get to Fox.
Let me see what the peacock said. I didn't realize there was little words on top of things here, but I'll just see what the peacock said as well to go back a little bit. Love that strategy for that. I do think they'll be strategic, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that pick. If I can't be greedy. I can't have both my top picks, so we split them, and I'm fine with that.
Okay, come on, Fox. Sorry, there's a lot of.
And the
Lot of
peacock
Fs.
was prosperity, by the way. That was
Oh, so that maybe they're gonna win some prizes that like gives them some money. Like if they win a lot of first legs, and get like $5,000 or whatnot.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
then maybe I'm completely wrong, and maybe they do win in the end. But okay, I'm gonna just read you Fox. So to see as Fox in your dream represents insight, cleverness, cunningness, and resourcefulness. Perhaps the dream is telling you that you need to exhibit more of these qualities in your waking life. Well, I think that these 2 will exemplify that. Or that you need to conceal your thoughts, maybe more discreet about some situations. I can see them speaking their minds, 100%. The fox may also symbolize someone in your waking life who is sly or sneaky. Alternatively, seeing a fox in your dream indicates a period of isolation and loneliness. No, I don't think that applies. Take time to ponder some issues and reflect upon life. The dream could be a metaphor for someone who is a fox or a foxy lady. No, I think that I think
clever, sly, yeah, all
maybe
that.
sneaky, cunning,
Yes.
clever,
Yeah.
totally.
Ooh, boys don't let me down.
I
Don't
mean,
let
I need them to be that.
me
Okay,
down.
who's your next pick?
So this is probably, I don't think you'd be expecting this necessarily, but again, I was just trying to go with, intuition and just getting a vibe of, and I'm watching Amazing Race now, just like who the types that make it to the end, because I want my teams to do well. So another married couple, and they seem physically able to, do a lot of the different tasks.
Mhm.
I think that, and so it's Todd and Ashley Martin. Todd and Ashley. They're
Word.
38. They're from California, special education teacher, and Ashley is a hospitality account manager. And they met at 15. So that connection, they've been, together for a long time. Sometimes you don't even need to speak words when you've been around someone for a long time and they just know. I hope that the cohesiveness, they'll fit together as one, and that will really get them through the race, having known each other for quite some time.
Well, you like that was my fourth couple, so
Okay.
like we're still pretty in lockstep here. Obviously, I'm going to pick my third pick couple next, and I wonder if it's your fourth pick couple. For all the reasons you said, I agree. I think that they're a good age. What are my notes about them? Ashley and Todd. Um, so yeah, they're a good age. They're from California, so like they're from a bigger city or bigger state, and I just feel like they might have experience, like life experience. They might get stuff.
Uh,
She looks like she's in shape. Like what's her profession? Does it say here?
she's a hospitality account manager.
So she deals with a lot of personalities, possibly, and a lot of different businesses. I love the fact that they met at such a young age. I think, yeah, they're 38, so
And
they've
he's a
seen some things.
special education teacher. I think that they both probably can express patience with each other, have that
100%.
connection, like you said, fit. Um, I think I think that they could potentially do really, and they also seem like nice, but probably like don't mess with us at the same time, and they'll
Yeah.
get things done. So let's see. The card that I pulled just now is Butterfly.
Did I
And
pull a card for the last team? Yeah, wait.
no, you
No.
didn't.
For
No?
your other team?
Oh, maybe you didn't. We'll have to go
Hold on,
back.
let's just go back to that team. Oh, or do you want to do this one and then I'll go back to the other
Oh,
team?
so the butterfly, it says
Ooh, metaphor.
the soul. So for me, butterflies are like growth, that freedom. That I actually think they'll just be a lot, which I don't know if I got from their profile here, but maybe like star potential of a lot of storyline that happens with them in the race. I think they'll have their hands in um in a lot of you know alliances or just the relationships that they form with other people. I think they'll be at the core of that with this. So, and they will, blossom and just kind of
Blossom.
connect
Um,
on, and they'll
Butterflies are a really good omen, I would say. I'm going to read you what this card here says. Because usually it means like transformation, it means metamorphosis, it means growth. So come on, butterfly. To see a butterfly in your dreams signifies longevity, creativity, romance, joy, and spirituality. You may experience a new way of thinking or may undergo some transformation. Alternatively, a butterfly refers to your need to settle down, you're lacking focus in your life, you tend to be flighty or jump to one thing to another. Also maybe the term social butterfly. So yeah, I can see them being a social butterfly, bouncing, maybe having alliances, connecting with other teams. I think that could be cool for them. Um, and to see two butterflies in a dream represents romance and a long and happy marriage. So maybe they have a good marriage. And maybe they're the popular couple. Um, I think it's a good omen for them, for
yeah.
sure.
And I'm not necessarily saying top three, but I definitely think top five.
Yeah, I think they're going to do well as well. So I already had pulled the other card.
I
So I'm
think
just
what
gonna,
happened was you read the meaning of my card and then we
yeah.
skipped over your card.
Yes, is what we did. It was for the boys, right? Yes.
Yes. So we need your Joe and Ian card, and then we need your Ashley and Todd.
Okay, so I pulled the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's another blocked energy card. Pages are kind of new beginnings, and Pentacles is about finances, money, things in the material world. So this, like, usually when I see this card upright, like someone's going to get a really like a windfall or a really great financial opportunity. So this also could say to me getting to the finale episode, but not necessarily winning the money. So it's like the new begin, like the beginning of the finale. So whether it's like top 5, top 4, depending on when, like how many episodes that they're going to do and how many people are going to be in the finale. I think they make it to the finale, but I don't think that they end up winning the season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my gut reaction to them would be second place, to be honest with you. But I'm hoping they win.
I
I'll
mean,
change my mind once I see everyone and see who I'm vibing.
you'd be like, our cards are wrong, dead wrong. They're last. Sophie here is seeing them as a runner-up team. Yeah, I mean, I can see them
Yeah.
making to the finale.
Yeah,
But this card doesn't say win.
I feel like second place. I don't know why, but I feel like second place. But you know,
I can see a second place for them as well. I wonder if it's going to be a surprise team that gets first place, because right now our top teams don't have first place cards as of yet. Okay, so this is
let's see
for
let's see what your Ashley and Todd card.
pull their picks up just so people know who we're talking about. All right, Ashley and Todd, married couple from Chino, California.
Yeah, they've known each other for 23 years.
Another card in reverse. I swear all of them are not in reverse. All right, so this is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it's also Major Arcana card. Major Arcanas, life's major events, major changes, usually a good omen for success or something, a big thing happening. It's a positive, it's a good card. So I would say that they get to at least the second half of the season. The Wheel of Fortune is usually good luck, and the fact that it's in reverse, I wonder if they're going to have like a roadblock. There's going to be some new twist on the U-turn, and so I wonder if they're going to be affected by something like that. Like that would be kind of what the Wheel of Fortune would say to me, that they don't really get taken out by their own merit. It's kind of by a game mechanic. It seems like they might end the game, but because it's a Major Arcana, it makes me feel like they get deep into the game, but not win.
Yeah, that's why I said like top 5 for me. And you're right, that does feel right. Like something takes them out.
Yeah, like maybe they're friends with everybody, or people like know that they're dangerous, so like they just gang up on them and they double U-turn or something and they can't recover, and it's not a keep racing and they're out.
Well,
I mean, it's going to be an entertaining way that they go out, but
yeah, we'll see them for a while, I think.
yeah, definitely half the season
Sure,
for sure.
that they will go early, but yeah, that's my second pick. So let's get to your second pick.
Like, okay, I'm like, I don't know who anybody is yet, so I'm just like,
I hope
I
it's
just need
like
to know.
more of like my like 5th or 6th pick and not my 4th pick, but we'll see.
I hope that this ends up being a good pick, but we'll see. So this is my third pick, and I was thinking that, one lives in New York, one lives in LA. So I'm hoping that they're going to understand big cities and how to move fast. And they are sisters. So I'm going with someone a little bit different than usual. It's male teams tend to do quite well, and female teams don't necessarily do that quite well. But I thought I would take a chance with a pair of siblings here that were from a big city, and like I feel like their ages. How old are they?
25 and 27. Oh no,
Good.
sorry, no, I'm lying. Where are the
You're
sisters?
lying. Morgana and Lena.
Where
So 31 and 29. So I think that they're a good age to kind of know some stuff. I'm hoping that they are decently athletic. I like the fact that they're from the big city. So what are your thoughts? You're like, haha, I didn't pick them.
What worried me is, yes, historically, I don't know if sisters do that well. We normally see, unfortunately, there was quite a while before we saw a female, like a woman team win. Um, but yeah, the thing that took me off of them was the fact that Lena had said that she'd watched 27 seasons in 2 months, and I'm like, then you're not a. I don't know how much of a fan you are if you're trying to
Right.
cram. You know what I mean? So I I and it's funny because with Survivor and Big Brother, I actually don't love fans playing. Um, but
Are you saying that you wouldn't want to watch me play? You wouldn't?
no, it's and so I just think that they I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're just they might not be able to adapt to the game. Like just watching it, cramming it, like is different
Cramming
than
it, not knowing, yeah, like, are how big of a fan. I
which
don't.
sister. I didn't see any videos. So which sister was it that
Lena,
crammed?
Lena, Lena,
So
which is
Lena
younger
is
one,
the
29. Yeah,
younger sister. So the older sister's probably a fan and wanted her younger sister to come
water.
and play.
Yeah, I hope so because I feel like yeah, and like I was saying, like I like fans playing Amazing Race, specifically.
Because they
So
still have to do well. Like they can't.
yeah,
It,
you can't really. Yeah, I mean, other than like form alliances, which I think is, you know, equally even new people would do versus people who know that you probably should. You still, like you said, have to do well. It still makes you kind of, you're on your own at most points, really, and you can't really, even if you're in alliance with the other teams, you can't really help them out all that much at every.
exactly. Like it's up to you to do
Um,
well.
so they were lower on my list.
Mhm.
I only for that 27 seasons in 2 months put me off, but they seem like fun friendly, and I hope I see them on for quite a while.
Cool. Oh, I didn't get a great card. And another card in reverse. Interesting. So I got the Nine of Swords in reverse. So upright, this card is kind of like nightmares in your head, like you overthinking. And so with this being blocked energy, I think it's a subconscious thing. So I think that they might overthink everything and not being able to make definitive decisions. They are not going to be able to be maybe cohesive in what they decide to do. This is a very worrisome card for placement just because it's like you're just in a nightmare in your own mind. It's self-created, and that's very worrisome for me for a duo competing in this race.
And the other thing is they're both they have the same, yeah, marketing executives. So yeah, I love teams that have different backgrounds that can bring different things to it.
Hmm.
They're both sisters, so I assume raised in the same, household. They have like they're very same, and I don't
Mm,
know if that brings like a full, kind of all
diversity,
the
like of
ability
experience.
that other teams could have behind them. So that's what put me off a little bit too. Um,
Hmm.
card that I picked just right now is Lioness
Oh, what does it say on it? Leader.
Protection.
Hmm.
One, I think to me this says that the one sister who's probably the fan
Hmm.
gonna have to like is doing the most of the work and has to like what I mean. Not necessarily drag the other one along, but I feel like it's one sided. This team. That's
I definitely can see that as well. Let me see if I have lioness as an option here. OP. Oh, just kidding. Yeah, I think that the sister on the left is the fan, and the other sister's here for the ride.
Morgan.
Like
Morgan would be the lioness because
Morgan is
lioness
the lioness.
protect the. Don't they protect the like
The
the whole?
young.
They're the ones. I think they protect everybody. Like they're the like there's the lion and the
Hmm.
lioness is the protection, and they like kind of run all the stuff. And yeah, and I feel like that's probably then Morgan and Lena's like. Yeah, whether it's, I'm not saying that Lena necessarily does bad. I just mean like I think Morgan's the one to take charge, be protective, making those decisions. Um, And I do think that there'll be times where you need to have more of a balance rather than one person just driving.
100%. She can't do everything. And so when it's not her turn to do it with a roadblock or whatnot, like maybe the other sister's going to fumble. So lioness, to see a lioness in your dream represents your maternal instincts. You will go to great lengths to protect your interests. Alternatively, a lioness symbolizes hope, victory, tenacity, and stamina. I think the maternal instinct is more so where I see the vibe of this team. And yeah, I think that she's going to be doing her best to get them past the finish line, but I do think the younger sister is going to cause a little bit of a roadblock. No
I'm
pun
loving
intended.
these animal horoscopes.
They're like excellent, like very, very, very good. I'm happy that you picked that one. Who do I have next? Am I changing my mind? No, I got that card. I think so.
Yeah, are you gonna go with my team? I don't know.
Hold on. What's their names?
And this is also different from like the teams that I'm picking are not necessarily the teams that I think I would like the best.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's teams that I think I'm like, oh my god, I would love to pick you, but I don't know how strong you'll be. So
Sophie wants to know if I was on the show, who would I race with?
Jojo?
Jojo. I would race with Jojo. I'd also I'd race with my stepmom. My stepmom is like, she's so good at being organized. Like for my whole life, she's always like, she makes all the plans or reservations, like she holds the wallet, she just does it all. And so, and like we used to team up together, like it'd be me and Sheila and my dad and my brother, and like we would always like win, like if we're playing games. Not always, but like we were good together. And so yeah, I would race with my stepmom probably if I was going to do an American Amazing Race. What the heck was that?
Something
like, yeah, sorry.
Something.
I don't know, something like popped and I don't know what it was. Weird. Okay, who would you race with, Jonathan? You're like, I wouldn't. Sophie says that you should go on the race with your cousin.
I know. That's some shade, Sophie. I would probably go. I would definitely want to go with you. And the only other person I could think of, because I think you're the right mix of like knowing how this works, can get stuff done. Yeah, can put up with me.
Yeah, I could rely on you. I could put up with you, and I could rely on you. I would trust in your abilities.
Yeah, I would love to go in with you. Would be my first pick. And then I do have a friend named Michael who's like a producer. He's an actor, but also a producer, and he can just get stuff done. And he's like, he's that person who's like, watch, and he'll come back and things will be taken care of, done, and you know what I mean. And so, which is all something that's super. And he's athletic, able, all that kind of stuff too. So, and he's very smart. So, yeah.
Wait, should we be applying together, Jonathan?
You and Michael.
I mean, if I knew you wanted to go on, I would apply with you for sure. Okay, so my pick here is like, I'm going for a little bit of youth, but like a little bit of age. So kind of in the middle of the pack, probably the average age of most of the teams. They're a brother-sister team. They're wearing glasses. So I'm hoping that they're going to be smart, but then they're also of a good age. So they think that they might still have some athletic ability. I'm not going to let the glasses fool me. I am choosing Alexandra and Sheridan as my next team. So they're brothers sisters from Chicago, so it's a bigger city. They work as consultants, so hopefully they're able to strategize and work things out. Yeah, I think they share an apartment, so they're going to be able to get along in a way that some other siblings might not be able to. I'm going to see how they do.
Yeah, and I think that they were also top of my list. Oh no, they're the fifth. They're my fifth team. They're my fifth team is what I had them listed as. And again, the only limitations is the same kind of thing for me is that they are brother and sister, so they have the same upbringing. They both
they're male female. That's I think was one thing that I was like, it's still a bit different. They would have had different.
Absolutely, there's distinctions there for sure. They are both consultants. So that's why the sisters were near the bottom for me. But these two, because of that difference, and they both look like they're fit and they're capable and smart. Um, I had them as my fifth pick. But I think they're gonna do quite well. I definitely see like a top five. Yeah, and they're honestly, and then personally, if it's not Joe and Ian, they're my, like, going into this, they're my favorites. Um,
Ooh, great. I'm glad I have at least one of your favorites. Phil says that he would race with his sisters because he might get on with her unusual name. What's her name, Phil? Do you mind sharing that with us? And I won't tell Ron, who might be watching right now. Sophie says that they'll race with their roommate. Oh, don't get me started about Traders Canada. I searched high and low for castings. I think that everybody was a recruit. So whether it was a recruit from reality TV or just a recruit from casting, walking into a bar and finding someone, I never saw anything.
Working casting, I never even heard of it. So, like, the casting process for it. So I think,
Yeah, Ethna and Phil. Yeah, I think, and your redhead. It's good. You guys are both redheads, if I'm not mistaken, right, Phil? We haven't seen a pair of redheads on the show like that. Of course, you get on, and a unique name.
Phil, I'll pick a card for you and your sister later.
Okay. I'll leave it on.
So yeah, okay. So you're gonna pick a card
For my peeps. Okay.
your bro and sis, who I did want them on my team. Ugh.
Okay, so Alexandra and Sheridan. Let's hear. Oh, where'd this card come from? Sorry, one sec. Come on, do well, brothers and sisters. Oh, two cards kind of came out. These are they're in reverse again. I'm gonna say that they're upright. I don't know, they're reverse. So I got two cards that kind of bounced out here. Reverse cards again, blocked energy. I don't know if it means winning, but they're both from the major arcana, life's major events, major changes. The lovers card, that doesn't usually mean lovers, it means Gemini. Also, it means twins. It usually means having a really good connection. If it was a relationship reading, maybe then I would.
Yeah, very close relationship.
So maybe they do have a really close relationship.
Yeah.
It's blocked though, so I'm wondering if they're going to take for granted their close relationship and maybe overlook certain things. Sometimes if you're racing with somebody that you don't know that well, you might be considerate of certain things or suggest certain things, and like I'm just wondering if their relationship and their closeness might get in the way of them being able to see something properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other card is also the Judgment card again in reverse. So I'm wondering if they're going to be getting to the end. So maybe the finale episode, final 5, 4, 3, 2. Doesn't say winning card, but it says doing really well. But I think that their relationship is going to allow them to overlook something that having a less close relationship, you might be able to notice.
Yeah, like sometimes a lot of these strengths that we're pointing out can be weaknesses as well, depending on the challenge, you know. So that's why I think historically, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that, like, non relationships being like married couples and partners do better than people who necessarily grew up together, because you just have different, you can draw from many different things in life, which could also be a downfall and a con. But I just think overall, you never know. You never know. I hope they do well. I hope they do really well.
I do too. Phil says, reverse judgment sounds awful. Would that be judging yourself? It could be judging yourself. Yeah, I think that they might do too many things together. This is the twin card as well. And so I just think that them knowing themselves so well might just allow them to overlook something that's going to be important for them to get to the end.
Read your clue.
You know what I mean? Something like that. Or, maybe the one sibling is always right about something. So she doesn't question him about something. You know what I mean? When it would be somebody that you don't know that well, you might say like, well, what if blah, 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 blah. So I just feel like their dynamic might prevent them from getting the win in the end, but they're going to go far.
Good.
What do you got?
I picked the meerkat.
Meerkat. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to have meerkat on my thing.
Which is responsibility. is the word
Hmm.
there. So to be fair, I don't know much about the meerkat myself, but I just to me they're observant. They're the ones that stand up straight like this and look around. So I feel
Can you do
like
your meerkat impersonation again?
love a good meerkat, but responsibility. So yeah, I feel like they're going to be very thorough, and they're going to be maybe the observers, and with that they can figure out what decisions that they need to make, which will help them overall. Um, and that's all I have to say about meerkats.
How do you spell meerkat? Is it two E's or no?
Two E's, yeah,
Oh,
MEER.
okay, it is here.
T. There you go.
To see a meerkat in your dream suggests that you are protected against some negativity in your life. Hmm.
Is
I
there
wonder if that means that maybe
great?
they're not going to be well received.
Okay, you think that they're not going to click with the other people, maybe?
Maybe, like maybe they're too like
Or
we're the
because people see
siblings.
them as too smart, they're going to,
Yeah,
stay
like they're
away.
going to ice them out a little bit. Um, or yeah, I don't know. So protect against negativity. It just seems like from just hearing about that description, it just makes me think that people are not going to click with them, and they're kind of going to be out on an island on their own.
Maybe that's why they're observing because they're not intertwined. They're
Yeah,
observed.
they're not part of the group. They're on
Yeah,
the
you
outs.
always see those teams that like kind of run their own race, but then generally like do well anyway. So maybe they're that. They're that.
Read your clue and be nice to your taxi driver. Yes, I guess they're going to be back to taxi drivers, and no more self drives. Hmm. Okay. I mean, I still like them
I do love a good self drive where neither of them know how to drive stick. I do.
for sure.
I
Like
do.
maybe that's going to be their downfall. Like,
Just like the one doesn't know. I don't know it either, but one doesn't know and the other one learned 2 weeks ago. And it's like, love
yeah.
that. Love that.
All
Okay.
right, Jonathan, two to you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with my fourth pick initially, and this will be my third pick in the actual draft. Uh, they're a set of brothers. It is Greg and John.
Man, like we're like still like other than my girls, like those were my next
Greg
pick.
and John. So what is it? Greg's 25, John's 27. They're from New York and Mountain View, California. One's a software developer, the other is a product manager. They love to travel and together. They've been to Montreal, love Montreal, by the way, Thailand, Singapore, China. They've been all over the world. So that really sold me on the fact of they're the right age, they're fit, they can do this. They have a good bond. They've traveled together. Sometimes traveling brings out the worst in me. Let me say, but it could, you know what I mean. It's stressful. So and the stresses of the race, they've handled that together before. So I think that they probably have a really good connection and that they can do really well. Is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I should like. I remember when I was doing it, I was like, I read this, and I meant to put them higher, and I probably would have put them in my third spot. You know what I mean? But like, I just didn't. I forgot. But yeah, they were definitely going to be the next team that I would pick. I would have picked them higher if I had remembered to switch my order around. But yeah, I think that they're great. I love the fact that they're a great age. They look extremely fit. They look like they get along. They traveled so many places together. I just think in general they're going to do really well, and I feel like they just are going to be able to jive. Like they're going to be in sync. I think they're going to be a team to beat.
Insane. And no, bye, bye, bye.
So cute too. Not gonna just
Uh,
saying.
so the card that I picked for them is the Orca.
Okay, whale. What does it say about the orca?
Song lines. I don't know what that means, but
What is it?
song lines.
Song lines.
It's not in focus, but anyway. Yeah. I'm just gonna go, and there's also a beautiful orca stone sphere that I have over there. But orca is like to me, and it's a picture of there's a girl there, as you can see, and they're kind of like I don't know. they're a little to me, orcas are, like, majestic, and they're, like,
Mhm.
almost like these spirits in, animal form and whatnot. So, I feel that they will have a really good connection with people, and there's a lot of power to them. Orcas are just like this powerful creatures, and so I think they'll do well. I think they are definitely like top 5, 6 material, and they'll also be well received with other racers. Um, and they'll power through competitions, and yeah, I don't know if they'll be in the top. I mean, now I'm just going with my gut here. I feel like something can take them out, but it would be near the end myself. So
So I looked up whale and orca, and just so you can hear the difference. So for to see a whale in your dream represents intuition and awareness. You are in tune with your sense of spirituality. Alternatively, a whale symbolizes a relationship or business project that may be too big to handle. That's worrisome. You are feeling overwhelmed. The dream may also be a pun on wailing and a desire to cry out about something. So I'm wondering if they will get overwhelmed by maybe the pace, the speed of the race, like what they actually have to do.
right,
Um, and then looking up orca to see an orca in your dream indicates that you may need to be more social or more vocal about something. Step up and speak up. Alternatively, so that makes me feel as though one of the siblings is doing a roadblock and the other one wants to speak up and say something, but like you can't say anything, and like maybe he's missing part of the clue, or like he's not doing it correctly and he's not able to figure out what it is, and he can't help him, his brother
mm,
can't help him. So but it also says it symbolizes spiritual guidance. You are ready to confront your emotions and make connections between the conscious and the subconscious aspects of yourself. So I don't think it gets middle of the pack just because I think that they're fit.
yeah,
um and they
and
have that experience, but it seems like one brother is going to screw it up for the other.
and a song line is also called a dreaming track, and it's a path across the land, which is a belief system of Aboriginal cultures in Australia, which
Okay.
marks the route followed by localized creator beings in dreaming. So it's interesting to me. It's talking about paths across the land, and there is something like a little magic about them, I feel like, but that I feel like that's probably in their connections that they're able to build with people. I agree with you. I think they'll do well, but I also feel like something's gonna mess
Stump
them up
them.
at like 5, 6 or something, like you know what I mean? Like kind of like just past the halfway mark in the game. And only if they're able to overcome it could they make it through. But I think that might get them.
I got another reverse card. We haven't pulled the winner, it seems, yet. Unless we're gonna have to look through all the reverse cards and be like, okay, actually, this one actually is the winning card. So the Emperor is usually the biggest money card in the deck. It's part of the major arcana, so life's major events, major changes. This would tell me that maybe they go very far. It's the number 4 in the journey of the Fool, like it's the 4th card in. So that's tells me that they're probably going to do well, but it being in reverse says to me that they're not going to win the big money. Um, yeah, because like the Emperor, if it was us upright, I'd be like, this could be a winning card, but it's in reverse. It's saying to me that maybe it's in like that final task, and one brother they or maybe both of them don't remember the order of all the flowers on the lapels or whatever it is, and they just get stumped up and they can't take home the win. So it shows longevity in the game, but it feels to me like one brother is going to be that's going to stuff it up, just from the orca description in the dream book, and they're not going to win because of the biggest money card is in reverse. Boo.
Yeah, yeah. I don't feel winner vibes, but I mean they have a lot of potential. So prove us wrong. But yeah.
Who's your number 4, Jonathan?
Okay, so I'm going with a father son team, and it's going to be Rob and Corey. Now, I think that they have Rob's 48, Corey's 25. You know, Rob, the father's, works as teaching assistant and assistant football coach. I think there's probably that, background there as well, with teaching background, maybe a sports or like athletic background. Great. Um, and Corey is a senior manager of client strategy. So I just think, and he's younger, 25. He looks fit. Yeah, I mean, I think that they um, can have like a really. Oh, and I should mention the other thing is, um, the dad, Rob, is deaf. So I think he's
Do we know
going.
if he's 100% deaf or like if he has any hearing?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he. We've had at least a deaf contestant on the show before. That was the mother
Luke.
son team, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Luke and
so,
Margie?
and they did well. And so, yeah, I just feel like because of that, when there's some sort of impairment, um, those bonds, they probably have a really good connection and know how to like communicate other ways. And so, yeah, I hope they do well. I feel like they have a lot of potential, and so that's why they're my next pick.
I totally understand the reasons why you picked them at this point. I had them a bit lower because I felt that maybe the father was less in shape than the son. And I do think that they'll be able to communicate really well, especially if they sign together or like he'll be able to interpret things for his father. Um, but I wasn't sure physically if the dad was going to be able to keep up with some of the other more physical teams. So I would love to see them do very well, but I just wasn't sure about his
Yeah,
physical abilities.
and I think you know other than communication with others, but you can rely on your partner for that within challenges and whatnot. There's, it's not like with Matt this season of Big Brother where they do like listening challenges for, you know what I mean? Like, come on. But hearing, I don't think is that, or hearing loss is that detrimental to specific challenges. I'm just trying to think of like random challenges in my head that I've seen. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's that big of a hurdle that that will throw them behind or something. So I'm hoping for the best for them. I
Mhm.
think that they can do really well. So that's why I wanted to make sure that they were in my top half that I was picking, and they are my fourth pick, but they were one, two, three, four, five, my sixth out of 13. So, and then the card I picked for them is the chameleon, and it says
Ooh.
change above that. I just mean that to me, that's adaptability. So, like, they're able to switch it up and, overcome. And I feel like anyone with any sort of impairment has the history of being able to do that, adjusting, figuring it out, make it work for you. And I actually think they'll surprise us. I think they'll surprise us. Anyone who's, maybe slightly doubting them because of any of that, I think they will surprise you. So I'm glad I have them on my team, the chameleon.
So, chameleon, to see a chameleon in your dream represents your ability to adapt to any situation. You are versatile and well rounded. Alternatively, you feel you are being overlooked. I could see that it being a possibility, like being overlooked potentially because of, being a deaf contestant. They haven't had a deaf contestant in over 10 years. Um, I'm just worried about his physical aptitude, but that could also correlate to being overlooked. So, I think it's a decent card. And then, oh, this is good too. This is one of the better cards that I pulled today because it's upright.
There you
It's the Empress. So Empress is the number 3 in the major arcana. So life's major events, major changes. This to me bodes doing quite well. It's upright. It could be a winning card because it's abundance. It could also be final 3. Sometimes if I see this card, sometimes it's not for them, but like pregnancy, right? So it's something like something happening, so a birthing of something. So it's a really decent card, and this could say final 3, this could say winning card. This could say winning a lot of money, maybe on different legs, but it definitely talks about abundance and prosperity. So it's a
There
very
we
good
go.
card.
Yeah, I think that adaptability, like I said, the chameleon thing, like you're saying, I think they'll do better than we expect,
Yeah,
honestly.
not
This
being overlooked, and so yeah,
we're
maybe they'll
overlooking them, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. That's I'm happy with that. Those cards for these two for sure. All right. Now things get interesting. I just need to look at what these faces look
There's
like.
what, 6 teams left?
Six, and I think we're choosing seven. No, wait, one, two,
Be done.
three, seven,
One,
six. One, two, three, four, five, six.
yeah.
But we're choosing five, right? Because I'll choose the last one on the end. Okay, who am I picking? Not them. Not them. I think I'm gonna go with a married couple
Uh,
that own a grocery store manager. I'm assuming that they own the store. I'm hoping that they will be able to work really well together, and have some older couple upswing. They're 49 years old and they're from New Mexico. So I'm hoping that these two do well. So Jocelyn and Victor, 49. Cross my fingers. They've been watching the race since before they started a family, so they want to do well for their kids. I'm sure, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, since they're fans of the show, that like they might have practiced certain things or worked out some of the kinks of like maybe how to do the race. So I love that they are fans of it, and they met at a school dance, so maybe they're going to be able to dance if they have to do a dancing task. So yeah, we're at the second half of our teams here, and I want them on mine.
but I would say that so they were actually not my next, but the ones right after. However, in the who I want to see do well and win, uh,
Up there.
they're my top 3 for sure. So I just really seem to like them. I feel like they're going to be amazing to watch. I hope they do much better than where we are placing them. But yeah, you have I think you have like 2 of my like top
Top
like
teams.
top teams of just people that I like. So and yeah, I am I love that I generally I'm not that they're only 49. It's not old, but I mean like I love older teams compared to like the 20s, whatever. I love seeing like older married
Yeah,
couples.
it's more interesting.
So much more interesting. And I feel like, why do I feel like she's going to be making all the decisions? I don't know, but I love that. And he just let's see what I got actually. Ooh, I got owl and wisdom.
Ooh, maybe that's the Jocelyn.
I think they're going to make some wisdom, some smart moves. I think
Mm-hmm.
they're going to, when you like have to pick, do I want to do this or that at the detour? They're going to pick the right one almost every time. I feel like, which will get them, much farther. Not necessarily based on their skill set themselves, but the fact that they're making the right decisions. They know what to do, how to do it, how to get things done. So we love the wise owl for them and that wisdom that they bring to the race.
So to see an owl in your dream symbolizes wisdom, insight, magic, expanding awareness, and virtue. You are highly connected to your intuitive senses and psychic power. The owl is also synonymous with death, darkness, and the subconscious. The appearance of the owl may be telling you to let go of the past and or certain negative behaviors. So I think it's the wisdom and expanded awareness, maybe with their age. And I think that maybe intuitively they're going to know which way to go and be like, no, we're going this way, or we're going this way. Like, I mean, make some really, really good choices. I think it's a good card for them.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is the Three of Swords in reverse. So, like I said, reverse cards is usually blocked energy. The Three of Swords is usually like a breakup or like a dissolution of like a relationship. Usually it's like a breakup. So if that's
I hope you
oh.
enjoyed your marriage of all those years.
No, I don't think they're
Breaking
gonna
up, though.
I don't think they're gonna break up, but maybe they will argue a little bit, or maybe they'll have an alliance that will break up, or it just doesn't say going far super far. Like the owl is a more prosperous card than this card would mean to me. Um like maybe they're gonna have to overcome something, but I'm wondering if this means that they might not be able to get on the same page at sometimes. So maybe you're right, maybe she does take the lead, and maybe she needs to let him take the lead sometimes, and maybe they're just gonna like argue about like those kind of decisions. Not sure, but it's not a winning card for sure.
Yeah, and I think intuitively, I just want to say that they will do the best that they can do. I think they'll have like a really good showing for themselves, but I just feel like there are certain elements to their team that's just, you know, going to be a hurdle for them to kind of get farther in the race. So I really, like I said, they're my top three team. I feel like who I'm just gonna like.
Hmm.
I hope we're wrong about this, but yeah, I don't see them making it past halfway.
Yeah, it's an early boot vibe for the cards. For the cards, not for our hearts. Okay. Boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Let's see. I hope
It's
you don't leave
my
me with bottom teams. I hope you don't leave me with my bottom teams.
well, uh I don't know what to do here. Do I want to go? No, I don't think I can do that. I
Dating.
think I'm gonna have to do. I think I'm gonna have to go with. Do I want that? Uh, no. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna do. Do you already do these team? No. I'm gonna try this one. So, I'm gonna go with a father-daughter duo here.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if you're happy or mad right now.
I know
Uh,
that's my would have been my second next choice. So, but okay. Yeah.
And I was debating obviously with some other teams, and I just feel as though she has some youth on her side. He's a little bit older. He's 54, she's 28. They're from Texas. So I'm hoping, she's a flight attendant, and an influencer. So hopefully she'll have some airport knowledge. And she is it she wait, who's Wilson? She also works as a speech pathologist, so hopefully she'll be able to communicate with people quite well, especially in other countries if she doesn't speak any other languages. Um, yeah, so I don't know about the dad. He is a little bit older. He's probably one of the older contestants this season, maybe even the oldest, if I remember correctly. That's worrisome, but we're hoping that these two do decently well. So we got Steve and Anna. Is that it? Is that them? Yeah,
Steve and
Steve and Anna.
Anna Lee. I don't know if she goes by Anna Lee or Anna, but yeah. They just fell victim to me being on my list as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th place on my list,
They were 9 for me too.
just because I had other people that I liked and just wanted to pick more. It's not. I don't think though the necessarily would do bad. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did much better than we thought and make it to the final quarter of the race. But I don't
I,
need.
I think for me, like, I don't know if it's just a stereotype, but like, just because he's wearing a cowboy hat makes me think that he's not going to be as potentially athletic as she is. And it's honestly just aesthetics for like no real reason. Like, if he didn't have the cowboy hat on, I would think that, oh, he looks a little bit more military. And like, I'd probably think that he might be, you know what I mean? I don't know why I have that preconceived idea,
Well,
but
and 54 isn't old. I will say that he isn't older looking 54, which doesn't help visually, kind of like with the pure white gray beard,
Hmm.
like, you're looking more. I don't see him up close, but I'm just saying it just gives from a distance like more like 64. You know what I mean? So it just feels a bit older. And she seems like, she's also an influencer. She seems like she could be like really perky and, maybe too much for me. So it just fell more or less in the middle. Um, what card did you
Okay, let's see for these
uh,
two. Also not a great card. So I got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Upright, we call this card the Kanye West card. If you remember from Big Brother Canada, when I pulled this card for Kyle when he had that wild head of household reign. So this to me says hot mess express. Yeah, maybe running in different directions and not be able to get on the same page, a little bit frantic energy. It seems as though they're going to be a little bit messy. It is a night, so nights mean they'll get through a few legs. It's not like an early card. It's so maybe they'll stumble their way into the halfway point-ish, but it definitely doesn't say winner. It definitely says messy and all over the place, and yeah, entertaining. It says entertaining.
yeah. Um, I also feel like he will slow them down. I don't know. But okay, what do I pull? I pull a, oh my god, lioness again.
Oh.
Same card, which we're keeping because we don't stack the deck here. And I shuffled protection. So I feel like, you know what? I feel like he's going to be concerned with protecting her, and she's going to be concerned with protecting him, and just like, caretaking for each other rather than like pushing through and getting things done on the race. That's what that tells me. So I feel like, I think that's their hurdle. Whereas we also got this for the sisters, and to me, it was also, something that was not a plus, a positive. It's just where someone's relying on someone else, and I think you kind of brought that up a little bit too. I do feel like that is the same kind of energy, and potentially the downfall that this team will have is that like, he just wants to do this for his daughter, and she wants her father to like push through. It's okay, dad. It's okay. Just do what you can, that kind of vibe.
Hmm.
So I just think they're going to get caught up in that rather than, and the emotions of that rather than, focusing on what needs to get done to get through. So,
Yeah, they might not have like that winning drive. It's kind of like you can do it drive, but like and support, but not necessarily like super competitive.
yes.
It doesn't give super competitive. And just to remind people what lioness meant, you go through two great lengths to protect your interests, symbolizing hope, victory, tenacity, and stamina. I don't, and maternal instincts. So yeah, I
Well,
don't see victory, unfortunately, with these two.
mm,
But I can agree with you. I can see them both being very maternal and loving towards each other and being okay if they can't get something done.
yes. And okay is not
Winning.
good enough. Okay is not going to get you not last place at a leg. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Yeah. I
exactly.
mean, I don't really have that in me. I'd be like, yeah, do it. Finish
I'd be
it.
like, I'd be like, can I leave them to die? I'll do this myself. Like,
Me?
no, it'd be like my mother, and she's like, "Jonathan," I'm like, "It doesn't matter." I'm just way too competitive. So,
Yeah.
way too competitive.
All right. Who is these are the last two, I think,
Wait,
right?
there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams left. I pick 2, you pick 1, 1 goes to the audience. Yeah, okay. Okay, great. So I still have, we skipped over them, who I picked as, this is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th on my list is still
Mhm.
available. It's our BFFs, Robin and Chelsea. So I was really hoping to pick like a girl team, um, higher up. Um, but this is what we're doing. I feel like they can get things done. Um, they're best friends, from Washington. they're stay-at-home moms. Listen, I will never be a stay-at-home mom, but I think that stay-at-home moms can do anything. You know what I mean? And so that kind of training is just priceless. And yeah, and they've known each other for a long time. Um, it says that here that Chelsea said that Robin was her seventh grade bully. Love that for them that they've overcome that. Um, yeah, and so Robin says that Chelsea helped her through the death of her husband, who died of leukemia as well. I think, with tragedy like that, there's a lot of determination, and I think that will help them, um, their relationship, the strength that they have, being mothers, having had personal loss at a young age. They're both 41, and yeah, I just think that they'll have a lot of drive. So I feel like that will get them through quite a bit. Mm, I mean, I don't know how amazing they do. They're middle of the race elimination people to me, seemingly, but I feel like, you know, that determination will get them past the early boots. So hopefully.
So I didn't have the same high hopes as you did. I was kind of thinking that uh, yeah, they're on the race trying something new, but I don't know if they have that like winning competitive energy personally. I do like the fact that they are friends for a long time. I think that's good. My worry with stay at home mom is that like they don't necessarily hang out with other adults. I remember like sometimes I don't see a friend that's just been with her children for a long time and like goo goo gaga, and I'm like, wait, can we have a real conversation? Like, can we talk about something? You know what I mean? So sometimes people get stunted and just in the life of their kids, and they're not necessarily knowing what's going on in the world and just being kind of up to date in that type of thing. So I was worried with them not even being in the workforce anymore to just be like absorbing and getting new knowledge and new information that wasn't kids centric. Like even like my mom takes care of like my niece and nephews quite often, and like she's just not up to date with some stuff. I'm like, come on, what do you mean you don't know what's going on there? And it's like, well, I'm just like absorbed in and really involved in the kids. And so it was worrisome to me that they both are kind of not really exposed that much seemingly to the outside world. um and I don't know, like they seem slightly fit, but I just don't know if I believe in their being really good at a lot of different things. I'm not sure. I could be completely wrong, but my first instincts I was that
I
they
just
would
feel
be like,
like
let's go ahead.
I was just gonna say with kids, I feel like you're like used to kind of being up at all hours and ready for
That true.
whatever, and who knows what situations you'll be put in. I also don't know how old their kids are too, so, yeah, if they just have, like, young kids, then maybe, no, don't
Joseph
go
thinks
that
this
realm
team
of dreams.
screams
Well,
first elimination.
for that, I'm gonna pull my card right now. What do we get? We get the bull, and you know what, Joseph? With the bull, you get the horns. So, that's what's the thing?
Protective.
So the word's actually sacrifice. So I just feel like they're going to be, maybe go too hard, too fast kind of a situation, but I feel like they're going to really power through a lot of this. And I think they've had a lot of personal sacrifice, which is giving them the zest and the determination for this. I think they'll do better than you think. Um, I think they
Well, from
will.
what the description of bull, it does. I would concur. To see a bull in your dream symbolizes stubbornness, strong will, strength, and power. The dream may be telling you that it's time to take a stand and be more assertive. That could be something. Alternatively, the bull indicates rich and prosperous and abundant life. Could be also a metaphor as to being bullheaded. You might need to learn to compromise in a situation, or it could be a pun that something is bull, as in crap or worthless. So I mean, I could definitely see potentially maybe one being bullheaded. I could see that happening. Or and the other needing to take a stand and be more assertive, hearing that their dynamic was at one point bully and victim vibe. So I wonder if that might resurface again just with that card.
Mm.
Um,
Bull, bully. Mm.
what'd you say?
Is it bull, bully? That was interesting.
Mhm. Oh, and then I got the 5 of Wands. This card to me says that they're going to argue with themselves and probably with other contestants. Um, I don't know. I don't know these cards. I don't know. It seems like
No one's
fives
winning
are about
the race.
conflict and fights.
Okay. I
Go
mean,
ahead.
they can be very bullheaded, and
Yeah.
just like get into a lot of fights with each other. I hope
Their
not.
way or the highway, or like maybe they're going to try to push in front of people to get on like the faster flight or train or something. But it seems like some points of contention will be in their racing journey, conflict and
Ooh,
stubbornness.
interesting. Okay. All right. All right. So we're at our last picks here. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
but I have high hopes. And then I get one more team, right?
Mhm.
So this is an unusual pick for me, but when looking at this, I was thinking like, I have to pick a team that probably on the bottom of my list as far as like personally liking would probably like not connect with them as people necessarily. Um,
Oh, I just need to say that Robin and Chelsea were my last pick. Sorry,
and
go ahead.
so I they were my what I say seventh pick or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I just feel like I need to go with a team that I just won't gravitate towards, but could do well on the race. And then I read their little profile and stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, I can sell it to myself. I'm gonna leave you with all women to pick from, and I'm gonna take our last two remaining men, and that is Joel and Garrett. Joel 42, Garrett's 43, best friends from Idaho. They have a military background. That's where they met 22 years ago. And one is Joel's an auto claims training specialist, and Garrett's a delivery driver. So I don't know. I feel like these types of teams, like if we're typecasting here, tend to do like fairly well. I would even say like second half, but I never am rooting for them. And so I want to kind of round out my team by having different types of people and whatnot. And so this, I feel like, is a different area that I normally wouldn't go in. I like the military background. They're
Yeah.
not, I mean, I'm only a couple years younger than them. And I feel like they look significantly older
I'm
than me.
older than them, Jonathan.
Yeah, which usually isn't like, you know, uh-oh, like, I mean, in the sense of, like, if they look much older, I worry about the physical element to them. Because if you don't take care of, your body and your looks, then, and whatever, it can reflect one thing, can reflect the other. But, I mean, who knows? That military training might come out, that their friendship, their knowledge base, I don't know. I'm giving it a shot.
I mean, they were pretty low on my list. I think they were number 10 on my list. Um,
They're number 10 on my list, yeah.
I don't know. They're gonna do okay, probably. I don't think they're out first, but maybe out third, fourth. Um, I am so tired though of CBS casting beards as personality. Like, I mean, maybe they're really fun, smart, entertaining, or whatever. But like the fact that like one has like a quirky mustache and the other person has like this big full beard, like I'm over the beard gimmick. Isn't it enough? Do we need
It's 2, it's beard and it's the military background because there's a lot of, respect for that in general, but just especially with US. And so, yeah, I feel like they hit kind of both of those. Um, yeah. And I mean, they're older as far as contestants are concerned, but um, yeah, again, I wouldn't normally. Okay, the card that I got for them is, oh my gosh, why am I picking the same card? There are like a bunch of cards here. I picked the owl for them.
owl?
Maybe they'll
Yeah.
surprise me, and I'm interested in these double up cards, if those teams will work together or not.
Yeah, or if they're going, I'll make a little chart or something so we can
Yeah,
see who got what. But
wisdom, is the
or if
word
they're like at the same, they get to the mat at the same time or something.
something. But I mean, yeah, it's
You
I
said
can
owl, correct?
owl. Yeah, I can see them bringing some like wisdom with just even just their age and whatnot. My dog.
I'll just read owl again. So wisdom, insight, magic, expanded awareness, and virtue. Connected to your intuitive senses and psychic power. Um, it's the appearance of an owl may be telling you to let go of a past or certain negative behaviors. So I'm wondering if that's something to look at here with the owl. Um, I'm interested to see how well they do, um, but I don't feel winner from them. And
Yeah.
here, I got the Queen of Wands in reverse. If it was upright, I'd be like, they do quite well, but it's in reverse. I just feel as though maybe a woman team is going to take them out. I don't know.
Yeah,
Queen.
I mean, I won't be rooting for them. I'm sorry, guys, but I just wanted to cover all my bases. Like,
I hear it. I hear it. So yeah, Queen of Wands, reverse. It just means that they're gonna to me, it means that they're gonna be taken out by a queen. Like they're gonna lose to a queen. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like another roadblock situation, and they lose against a woman, or maybe the U-turn is like something different and it's gonna be a male versus female and they lose to the woman. Something like that. I don't know, but it doesn't say winner to me. It says out.
yeah, I can see them struggling with even though they have that military background, which was 22 years ago. I can see them struggling with more physical challenges. To be honest with you,
Especially our bearded men for whatever reason. Okay, I don't know what to do here.
not many teams. There's two teams. There's the mom and daughter, or there's the best friends. And
Um
I will just say, I don't know who you're picking, but I will just say that both of these teams, on a personal level, I'm excited to see them play. They're like my top, probably 5 or 6. As far as like what I want to see and what I'll enjoy. So I'm glad they're part of this. I just don't have. I just didn't have a lot of faith in them overall.
um dang it, I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm going to go with my demographic. If I were to be cast, it would be in this position, I suppose. And that is the besties that are my age. So we got Andrea Simpson and Melena Hatcher. They're 44 and 45, best friends from Philadelphia. So I like that they're from a major team or major city. Being one's a director and tax examiner. Like I don't know anything about these things, but hopefully it's going to translate into some of these race things. It doesn't seem like Andrea is super fit, but Melena is quite petite. So potentially, they'll be able to sort out who does what. I just worry because they look more like recruits than fans. I'm worried about this team for sure.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'm happy to support a black female team,
yeah,
but I'm not sure how well they're going to do just from this image.
yeah.
It's
Feels like
just a
they're there.
photo.
Feels like they're for a good time. I
Right.
don't know about a long time though. But again, them specifically are probably my top, like in my top 4 of who I want to see. I just hope that there's drive there and that they really push themselves.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
don't want to see them give up ever. Like, I just hope they're super competitive
Yes.
and
Yeah.
maybe good at a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I have
Hopefully.
a lot of hope for them because again, one of my favorites, just from their little profile here. But yeah, and she even
Oh,
says
I
like,
got this card again. Okay, they're not going to do quite well. So 3 of Swords in reverse, out pretty early. Like this is like a leg 3 boot type vibe. Maybe not getting along with some other teams because swords are about the mind and thoughts and sometimes speaking. And so I'm wondering if they're at the bottom, the back of the pack with 3 teams, and then it's a keep on racing, but then after that they go home or something like that. It doesn't say longevity. It could be first boot. It could be up to first 3 boots, but it's an early boot card.
yeah, I initially got the gut feeling that they're out second, like they're like almost out first race leg, and then the second leg they go.
Or maybe
Uh,
it's a third episode and then that's the second leg because
let's
I'll
see
do
what
like
card
a
I got.
keep
I
on
got
racing or something.
the sea turtle, which is stability.
Hmm.
Sea turtle. I love turtles. Let me just tell you this right now. I think stability, and that's like Turtles are that sea turtle, when you put them out, like I just saw one getting rescued and being put out in the ocean the other day on TikTok. That thing moves so slow. You know what I mean? And so
Oh shit. Slow, right.
and yeah, so I think that is my takeaway from this. They're stable, in this, but you know they're sturdy, but they're slow, and I think they're going to be fun, but they're just going to find themselves in the back the entire time. Um, you know, and I know it's the tortoise. It's not the tortoise and the hare, but it's a sea turtle. It's kind of similar-ish.
What is
Uh,
the lie that it says on the card?
the stability is the word
Mm.
for sea turtle, and then it's literally someone on giant sea turtle's back there. But you see that. But
Okay, so there's a few meanings here. We'll see what you want to take away from it. So, to see a turtle in your dream symbolizes wisdom, faithfulness, longevity, and loyalty. I mean, I think that that's their friendship. It also just suggests that you need to slow it down in some situation or relationship in your life. Maybe they do need to slow it down at some point and not like
I think
bumble.
I think they can bumble, they can make a big misstep or get lost, and they're in the back, and that's what gets them out. I can see that happening.
With time and patience, you will make steady progress. Alternatively, as turtle indicates that you are sheltering yourself from the realities of life. You are putting forth a hard exterior and not letting others in. I could see that potentially. As a result, you are feeling withdrawn. So I think it could be a combination of those things. I think that maybe they'll end up being at the back of the pack, so slow. But it could be as a result of not taking something more more methodically as
Yeah,
opposed to bumbling, and then they fall into the back of the pack and come in
that
last.
that feels right. That feels like that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, it does feel like that's going to happen. Guacamole. And then, so we want to talk about the other team. Let's see.
Yeah, so this is our and I'll just say they were my last team, unfortunately, um, being picked on our list here. This is your sixth pick. Um, yeah, so the team that we didn't pick, and are we giving this to the audience?
This is for the audience. Absolutely. They're going to get Elizabeth and Ileana. Now, one thing that's good that I liked about Elizabeth is she's a retired lieutenant, and so she actually might be really good, really militant. I actually had her higher up, but then like when I was looking at like maybe the physicality of the mom in the end, I was like, you know, she might have been a lieutenant beforehand, but I don't know if she keeps up with that athletic side of things that she's going to need for this race. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like they would struggle in certain challenges that need that kind of.
and they're probably gonna be entertaining. I could see that. They might have the trope of them being Latinas. They might be fiery, and maybe just banter back and forth, mom and daughter, which I think will be fun. I just don't know if they're gonna be able to cut it physically with the rest of the teams.
Yeah, and then the daughter works as a therapist and an event planner. I'm like, okay. I just feel like when you like kind of do both those things, you're
Yeah,
not
and I do like 1,000 things. What do you
and
mean?
you do 1,000. But I mean, like when you're doing, well, my best friend's a therapist, but when you're doing, and like she's full time, like your therapist full time, and my therapist also does multiple things, but it's like, so I'm not knocking that, but I'm just saying when you're an event planner and a therapist, I know that you can like you like book yourself, in here or there, wherever. So um, it's I don't know that I was gonna say I don't know that that's saying much about the daughter who because I don't really know. And so it didn't really give me anything. And then with the retired lieutenant, I'm like, yeah, what are you doing now? Because like how long have you been retired? How long did you do it for? I'm not quite sure. Again, they're obviously mother-daughter, raised in the same household, you would think. They are giving similar heights, similar kind of physical features. So I mean, like their abilities will probably be similar, just one younger than the other. I don't know. There's a lot of diversity within their skill set there.
And like for whatever reason, it could just because she's a lieutenant. I feel like maybe she's going to be a little bit hard on her daughter, and I think that that could be a dynamic that doesn't work necessarily all the time on the race. All
So
right.
cards. I got. Oh my gosh! Why am I getting these pairs? I got the bull again.
No, so
Which
that would be the mom vibe.
yeah, right. The bull and sacrifice there too. So it's interesting that we're getting the same cards. I think that the people are going to have the same hurdles.
Obstacle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same cards for them. So to me, it doesn't bode well. I feel like they'll get. I do feel like they'll get in either fights or one's going to be very like strong-minded in what they want, and the other one will just go along with it, and it'll be the wrong
Mm-hmm.
decision. So
Yeah, being bullheaded in the situation, absolutely. I wonder if the bully thing's gonna come out again. Like maybe they're not gonna get along with that other stay-at-home mom team. Maybe that's why they have matching cards. I pulled the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This card is usually that you're planting seeds and you're waiting for them to grow. I think that this is just them having high hopes of being winning, but I don't know if it's actually going to come to fruition for them. They do say we need those millions of dollars so we don't need to work 8 jobs anymore because I'm tired of it, quite frankly. Ileana jokes. And so I don't know. It just seems that like maybe they're thinking that this is the way for them to make $1 million, but I don't feel like it's their path. It's definitely not a winning path. It could be a first boot, early boot vibes. First early
again,
boot.
they're a team that I want to watch, so I hope they're longer on there longer than I think. But yeah, I just don't. I didn't. I mean, they were. What were they on my list? They were 11th on my list here initially. So um,
All right. So if I got this correct, my team is going to be Liam. Oh, I just move this. Liam, Morgan, and Lena. Alexandra and Sheridan. Jocelyn and Victor. Steve and Anna, and Milena and Andrea. And Robin and no, that's you. You're Robin and Chelsea.
and Robin, yeah.
And then your team is Joe and Ian,
Morning,
Ashley and Todd,
Shinta.
Greg and John, Joel and Garrett, Rob and Corey, and Robin and Chelsea. Well, go
I
ahead.
will say that I did get my second, third, and fourth picks. So I
Um,
realize that now, but I got my second, third, and fourth picks.
I got my first, third, and sixth pick.
So I should be happy with that. I didn't get my first, but I got my second, third, and fourth, um, and my fifth, to be honest with you. So and my sixth. So you only took two of my top. You know,
Well, because it kind of got a little muddled. Like people there were standouts,
so,
and then there was like, I'm not sure
but we'll see. I did pick a card for
this season.
no for Phil and his sister.
Okay, yeah.
So I haven't looked at it yet. The Swan and Beauty.
Oh, Phil and his sister. What does the swan
Someone
mean?
blindfolded there, and the swan is feeding a bubble off of them. Swan and Beauty. So I think that your relationship will develop even further, even better. It's a good experience for both of you. You're helping each other out when one is incapable of, the other one's, whatever, more of a yin yang situation. Um, so I think as a team, you would do well together. I think it's a good little mix.
So, to see a swan in your dream symbolizes grace, purity, beauty, dignity, wealth, and prestige. Something or someone that may initially be unappealing can turn out to be quite attractive. So, it's important not to prejudge a situation or person based on the surface. So, maybe if they were to go on the race, that they would be an unassuming team, but then they would emerge. I'm saying like 10 words at the same time. They will evolve into a team that everybody loves and supports. And
And you'll do it in grace and beauty. Now,
Exactly.
Chantele goes on the Amazing Race with who is your person again?
My stepmom, but I don't know if that will actually happen now. But
Mom,
JoJo, you?
your stepmom. Let's go with your stepmom.
Okay, let's see.
Goat, and the word is reliability.
She's a Cancer, a Capricorn. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
goat.
you're kind of saying stuff like that, like yeah, reliability. So you can really count on her to be there for you. Um, Goat, the goat.
Greatest of all time.
I think that's the card you want. I think.
Of course, you want the goat.
I think that's the card you want.
Let me see what
I think you know what's in here.
say again. You didn't know it was in there?
I never looked at open these cards before in my life. So.
Hold on, let's see what the goat means. Got your goat. LMNOPQR.
If anyone wants a animal card reading, just contact me.
Oh my god, you should do them. Yes, put your links in the bio.
It's in the bio. They're free for everyone gets a one-time free.
So to see a goat in your dream represents your lack of judgment and gullibility. No. Alternatively, goats are symbolic of sexuality and sexual desire and lechery. Also consider the association as a scapegoat or getting someone's goat. Do you feel like you've been blamed for someone else's deed? Oh
my god, we'll go with my version of it.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm like,
it said reliability was the word, right? And like the stability, reliability, yeah, for sure. It's those mountain goats get over those mountains. They
stay on the side there, like they ain't moving.
Like gravity almost. It's like with their skill set and abilities. So
I wonder if Capricorn would be there to make more sense. Hold on, because like the goat Capricorn is represented by the goat. Let's see if that will be there with a better definition. Come on. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, yeah. To dream that someone is a Capricorn signifies fear of inadequacy. You are afraid that you are not measuring up. Maybe I would. Alternatively, it denotes your drive and tenacity and ambition. Ambition.
I think it's a good card. I think it's
your goat's better than my goat here.
Yeah. I think it's strong.
Wait, do you need a card for you and your friend, Mark?
Wait, who would I go on the race
You said
with?
Mark, right?
No, I said you or Michael.
Michael, sorry. Do you want to do it for me or Michael?
Me and you. Let's do me and you. This is our thing here.
Okay, well, then you pull a card for me and you too.
Yeah, let's last of it right here. Me and Chantele. Let's see. I get the card out again. Me and Chantele. You want to go first or me? What's up to you?
I've got one. This is good. It's the strength card. The strength is taming the beast within, but I think I would be the angel there taming you, Jonathan, making sure that you're staying calm, getting it done. But I think it's a really good card because it shows strength. And it just shows being able to focus that energy to be able to get it done. It shows like working really well together and that having different strengths and being able to nurture both of our strengths.
I also think I would be terrible at navigating the where to go, what flights to take, all that. I'm not a traveler, but I'm very well-rounded and I usually do well in most things. So I wouldn't doubt myself, whether it's, even if it's like sporty, which I don't do, I have that past and I can pick things up really quickly. So, and I also think you're super well-rounded and you would definitely help balance me out in the areas that I'm just ignorant in. So that's
I think we're definitely a well-rounded team. I haven't played sports in a while, but I have played softball. I have played soccer. I did gymnastics for many years.
Team.
You were I competed in ballet until I was 17. Went to an art school, play multiple instruments, speak multiple languages. I think we'd be a fucking really good team.
Okay, well, let's see my card. I don't know what we got. Oh, the peacock. I like this card for us, though. And this was one of the good ones.
People would be pissed off at us because we'd be so smug.
And it's prosperity and peacock. So we got that for, maybe that's who did we get that for? We got that for some. Maybe they were the winning team this year.
Was
Um,
it was it was your number one pick, right? Wasn't it?
Joe and oh, it was. But yeah,
I
uh,
mean, we'd probably have the same vibe as them, right? We're gonna be. They look like they're gonna be
honestly,
good at a lot of stuff.
we can go as a foursome on the race together. Like, would probably do well. Yeah, I don't know. I think
Good set of cards for us, Jonathan.
I agree. We're winning.
Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with us as we did our little draft and card pull. Jonathan, do you have anything left to say about the season, your team?
I think I have a strong team. I think I walked away with what I had pre-chosen mostly. So I hope that that carries me through and I don't flop because when I do drafts with you, I'm a flop usually, but like outside of it, I usually do fairly well. So I'm just hoping this time around I can hold my own. And we have some really strong candidates. I think both of us. I'm excited to see how this works out. Love that they have more teams. I love
Mhm.
it. That's what I want. I'm
Excited.
excited. I'm most excited about Amazing Race. I think this fall with reality TV and whatnot. So yeah,
Looking forward to it. So I believe the premiere episode is going to be on September 27th. I don't know sure if we're covering it or not.
hopefully. Let's see.
um,
Want us to cover it?
yeah, let us know if you want us to cover this season. On the Wednesday, I will be likely with Bryce and Wen. They're doing another premiere party here in Toronto, so I will not be able to go live after the episode, but hopefully for future episodes, Jonathan and I, or Jonathan and Phil, or me and Phil, or all three of us, or
Mm,
whomever you would like to see cover the season, if you'd like that at all. Um, so yeah, so leave in the comments below whether or not you want us to cover this and who do you think has the winner on their team or the more stacked team in general. And subscribe to the channel.
yeah,
Like
and
this video. Go ahead.
put your winner picks in the comments. We want to
Yeah,
hear from you, so we have
I
it
want to
written
hear.
down, so you can't say afterwards that you always thought they would
Yeah, I want it written down before the season starts, before spoilers are popping out all over the place, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I knew all along. Like, sure you did.
win. The
I want to know
team,
today.
yeah.
Today. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks, chat. You guys are awesome.